If you've ever looked at your dog and quietly wondered, am I really giving you the life you deserve? Then this video's for you, and I need you to stay until the end, because the biggest mistake dog owners make is judging happiness by the loudest signals instead of the healthiest ones. Most people don't realize this, but dogs don't show fulfillment the way humans expect them to. And that misunderstanding creates guilt, anxiety, and sometimes even behavioral problems that never needed to exist in the first place. Let me start with something uncomfortable. Most dogs that seem obsessed with their owners are not deeply happy dogs. They're often anxious dogs. And most dogs that appear calm, independent, and emotionally stable are mistaken for being bored, distant, or less loving, when in reality, they're living the fullest version of a dog's life. That statement alone makes people angry, skeptical, or defensive, and that reaction tells me exactly how much this conversation is needed. Think about the images you see online. Dogs jumping nonstop, dogs glued to their owners, dogs losing their minds every time someone moves. That behavior is constantly labeled as love, but in canine psychology, love and attachment are not the same thing. In confusing them is where everything starts to go wrong. I learned this the hard way. I did everything right, at least according to popular advice. I gave attention constantly. I filled silence with interaction. I thought leaving my dog alone was cruel. I interpreted independence as rejection. And without realizing it, I was training my dog to believe that calm only existed when I was present. That didn't create happiness, it created dependence. Here's the first truth that changes everything. A fulfilled dog does not need constant stimulation to feel safe. In fact, studies published in veterinary behavioral science journals show that dogs with secure attachment styles demonstrate lower attention-seeking behavior, reduced stress responses, and better emotional regulation over time. That means the dog that doesn't demand you every second isn't emotionally cold, they're emotionally balanced. This is where most owners feel attacked, because we're taught that love means presence at all times. But dogs don't need presence. They need predictability and trust. Let's talk about the first sign your dog is living a full life, and it's the one people misunderstand the most. Your dog can be alone without distress. Not shutting down, not destroying things, not panicking, not crying. They can rest, they can settle, they can self-regulate. This doesn't mean they don't miss you, it means they trust you. A dog that trusts you believes you will return. A dog that doesn't trust you believes your absence is danger. That difference defines everything. Now here's the plot twist that changes how you interpret your entire relationship. The dog that follows you everywhere isn't always showing loyalty. Sometimes they're showing insecurity. And insecurity isn't fixed with more affection. It's fixed with emotional safety. Here's the second sign your dog is living a full life, and this one challenges obedience culture. Your dog thinks before responding. They hear your command, they look at you, they process, then they act. This pause is often labeled as disobedience, but in canine cognition research, it's a sign of confidence. Dogs trained through fear respond instantly because hesitation feels dangerous. Dogs raised in safety can afford to think. Ask yourself honestly, is your dog responding because they trust you or because they're afraid of being wrong? A full life doesn't create robotic obedience, it creates thoughtful cooperation. Now let's talk about excitement, because this is where most people get it wrong. A dog that doesn't explode with energy at every stimulus is not depressed, they're regulated. Research from the University of Lincoln demonstrated that emotionally healthy dogs exhibit lower baseline arousal levels, meaning they don't require constant novelty to feel satisfied. Their happiness is stable, not reactive. In simple terms, chaos doesn't equal joy. Calm does. This is hard for humans to accept because we equate intensity with emotion, but dogs don't live that way. They live in states, not moments. Here's another sign of a full life that almost nobody notices. Your dog mirrors calm when you're stressed. If you're anxious and your dog settles instead of escalating, that's emotional maturity. That's a dog that feels secure enough to regulate the environment instead of absorbing panic. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens when a dog feels safe at a nervous system level. Now let me flip the narrative completely. The dog that sleeps in another room sometimes, not distant, secure. The dog that doesn't demand constant attention, not unloved, fulfilled. The dog that doesn't react to everything, not bored, balanced. And here's the truth most people aren't ready for. A fulfilled dog doesn't need to prove happiness. It already feels it. Let's talk about the biggest mistake owners make without realizing it. Over-managing emotions. Calling the dog constantly, touching constantly, correcting constantly, engaging constantly. Dogs need emotional space the same way humans do. Without it, they never learn to self-soothe. That's why some dogs fall apart when left alone, not because they love too much, but because they were never taught safety without presence. Now here's something practical. Try this experiment. Sit down, say nothing, do nothing, no commands, no eye contact, no reaching, just exist. A fulfilled dog will eventually choose calm proximity or independent rest. An anxious dog will escalate behavior to regain stimulation. Neither response is judgment, it's information, and information is how you improve a dog's life. The goal isn't to be needed every second. The goal is to be trusted always. Because a full life for a dog isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, it isn't performative, it's peaceful. And peace is the highest form of happiness a dog can experience. If this video changed how you see your dog, share it with someone who thinks love means more. And tell me in the comments, what's one behavior you misunderstood until today? Your dog might already be living their best life. You just needed to learn how to see it.